Overnight, rap star Megan Thee Stallion taking the stand, testifying against fellow rapper Tory Lanez, who prosecutors say shot Stallion in both of her feet after a party in 2020, describing a heated argument she got into with Lanez and a close friend after leaving a party at Kylie Jenner's house in Los Angeles, which she says led to the shooting. The rapper telling the court Lanez began to immediately apologize, saying, "Please don't say anything. I'll give you $1 million. I already got caught with a gun," and added, "I can't go to jail. I'm on probation."
This whole story that's been going on since 2020 between Tory Lanez and Megan Thee Stallion is now in court. She shared some of the injuries that she did receive and how it affected her, the emotional toll and all that. I think it's many of the things that people have ignored. I guess there's this weird anger and discrimination and hate towards black women rappers, I guess. But she got a chance to talk about how it's affected her. Let's watch.
She was really emotional in court today. She said this story is not just about a shooting. This story is about who I had sex with. You remember yesterday the defense, they were really pitting her against her friend, talking about the fact that they shared intimate partners, multiple intimate partners. She said in court today, "I had just done a song with Beyonce. I did something of my dreams and I was shot at." And she said they're calling this the Megan Thee Stallion trial. I am not on trial. I wish he would have killed me. If I knew I would have to go through this torture, I wish he would have killed me.
Approach this story with considering that Megan Thee Stallion is a human being, someone you actually respect and thinks deserves to live and not be shot at. And then if you come with that kind of energy, then pay attention to the way this has been broken down. As a key witness for the prosecution, the Houston rapper, real name Megan Pete, described her account of the night of July 12th of 20, saying on record that the assault was the result of an argument she had with Lanez, whose real name is Daystar Peterson, and Kelsey Harris, who's her former best friend and assistant, while they were driving home from a party. The Grammy winner recounted that she and Peterson had an intimate but not exclusive relationship in 2020, one that Harris, her friend, did not know about at the time. Pete, Megan, knew Harris, Tory Lanez, her friend, had a crush on Tory, so she hid the relationship. When asked specifically why she had not previously revealed the nature of her relationship with Peterson, Pete said she was embarrassed because it's disgusting at this point. How could I share my body with someone who could do this to me? Does this stuff make sense to you guys? Is everyone's hating on her? Let's go on for more. The fight in the vehicle started when Peterson hinted at the relationship to Harris and then tried to pit the two women against each other. Of course, calling them bitches and hoes in the car. Pete testified that after exiting the vehicle for a second time on the drive home, Peterson shouted at her, "Dance, bitch," and fired 5 shots at her from the passenger side, striking her in the feet. So Tory Lanez was arrested on 1 count of carrying a concealed weapon, and Megan Thee Stallion was limping as they got out of the car, and we've seen the footage from the aerial perspective of them walking backwards. First, your thoughts on this as we continue on. We can show a little bit of that footage as we get your reaction, Jackson.
Well, one of the more, kind of negative things about all this is, kind of what Megan pointed out while she was in court is, just the reactions that a lot of the country will give to this. People who otherwise maybe were never paying any attention to Megan Thee Stallion's career or even Tory Lanez, and they just know she's lying and she's a bad image, and this is the problem with society, and men are under attack by women like this. There's huge communities online that think like this, and this goes into the real world. But also, no matter what happens, this is an unnecessary situation. Tory Lanez has a history of being just kind of petty and just anger issues. He's like 5'1", 5'2", so I mean, I'm not even gonna get into that. But again, like stuff like that is real. So he has a history of just kind of being rah! And this was a very avoidable situation that he doesn't have to be in had he just had better self-control. So if he goes to jail, that's on him, so.
Yeah, the drama surrounding it all. I mean, a night after partying and whatever, and you're drunk and drinking and then you do stupid stuff, sometimes these consequences come at you. And if what she was saying is true, as she said, he's like, please don't let anybody know. That sounds like something someone might say after they do something without thinking about it because they got a gun in their hand, like, here, I'm mad about something. Here's some drama. Let's go to graphic 6 though, you guys, because she's concerned just about the way that many of these responses have been. This situation has only been worse for me, and it has only made him more famous. is what Megan said during the morning testimony, because I was shot. I've been turned into some kind of villain, and he's the victim. This has messed up my whole life. This whole situation in the industry is like a big boys club, which I think we could probably take as true with many things. The changeover of the type of folks that are in certain businesses, they're just not accepting of. In fact, even Drake had some lyrics disparaging what she's doing. He says, again, this bitch lied about getting shots, but she's still a stallion. She don't even get the joke, but she's still smiling, of course. So we can see the direction that Drake took there. It's, again, she explained why she lied originally about the relationship with him, and we can see why, because look at the response to it. One more, let's jump down to graphic 9, because one person tweeted about this to point out, and I think this wrapped up the whole thing. She said, when black women come forward about domestic violence, their sexual history is put on trial, not the actions of their abusers. They're deemed whores, deserving of violence from these men. Megan Thee Stallion is another victim of the racist and sexist injustice system that we've got. Hopefully it doesn't pan out that way with this. As long as the truth comes forward. It's not just about jumping to that conclusion, but it seems like what we've seen is what it was.